very warm welcome to you. I'm Hayley Palmer. It's really good to have you on tonight's show, especially as we are joined by magician Ben Hanlin. And here is what happened when I caught up with him. Ben, it's lovely to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm just, still in lockdown, but we're doing all right.
We're doing all right. What have you been up to? Because we have been in lockdown for quite a while, but we are coming out soon, so it is exciting.
I mean, okay, I'll give you a year in 10 seconds. So finished Dancing on Ice last March, right? Did Dancing on Ice. The world stopped. And then I pivoted kind of online. I've been doing lots of TikTok. So I'm now on TikTok a lot.
I need to join TikTok. I'm missing out on this.
Oh, you got to. It's quite addictive. So that's what I've been doing, a lot of virtual shows as well. So people do events and I'm now performing like this, which is a bit bizarre.
Yes, it's the future. Wow, I like it. Well, like I said, it's a pleasure to have you here. You have got some great songs on tonight's show. Speaking of great songs, Lightning Bolt, Jake Bugg is your first song. Why this song?
Right, quite simply, I mean, it's a great song, right? It's one of those songs that always puts me in a good mood. And for me, it was the song that when me and my wife got married, it's the song we walked out of the church to. So we didn't want like a romantic-y kind of song. We thought, right, we've done the ceremony, the party started, and then we played this, and everyone was like, okay, let's have a good day. And also as well, I skated to this in the semi-finals of Dancing on Ice.
I remember
so
that.
even more than ever, I'm like, every time I hear it, I'm like, okay, this is good vibes.
Good vibes. Well, we're going to kick off the show with a good vibe song. Here it is. Enjoy, and we'll see you after this. Now, I want to rewind, Ben, from the very beginning, because you were always interested in magic, weren't you, from a young age?
Yeah, I say young. I was about 11, 12, something like that. I saw David Blaine come out on the telly in the late 90s, and he was wearing T-shirt and jeans with a deck of cards, and he was doing these card tricks. And I just thought they were the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And I thought, I've got to learn that. So I used to sit in the back of classrooms learning magic tricks. And now it's my job. So Yeah, and you're absolutely brilliant at it. I've seen your show, Tricks, on ITV2. Can we talk about Blue? Because when I saw this, I mean, when I say I've seen this about 100 times on YouTube. Right. It is the best genius thing I have ever seen. I think whenever I get asked what's the best thing you've done or the funniest thing, that's my favourite, right? It was one of the first things I ever shot for the show. And if you haven't seen it, very simply, me and Simon get into a caravan. The boys have no idea they're being filmed. And then the caravan and me head towards a cliff. And the guys from Blue, you can tell they're not in on it. They think their bandmate is going to not last. And they panic and they run, goes over the cliff, it smashes, and then we pop up somewhere else and go, "Way, that was a joke." And they didn't find it that funny. But it was...
It was Lee's reaction. Bless his heart. I really felt for him. And it took me days to recover too.
Yeah, I think we had to edit it as well on telly because he was on his knees, like, almost sobbing for quite a while.
Oh, no, honestly, if you haven't seen it, do check it out. It is on YouTube. Also, Joey Essex, that was genius as well. Beforehand, he was like, I'm really not sure about this.
Oh, you talk about the buried alive, the drowned alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went into ITV and said, I've got an idea, Halloween, why don't I try and drown Joey Essex live on telly? So that's what they did. They put us in a tank of water. I had to teach him how to be an escape artist. I had 5 days to teach him. And that honestly was terrifying. You're live on telly, and when you're underwater, you've got no idea if the stunt's going to work or not. So that was a scary one. I don't want to do that one again. That's for sure.
No, we won't go there. Well, your next song choice, Dakota Stereophonics. Why this song?
That's a bit of a family anthem, that one. So my uncle's in the Stereophonics, so he's the guitarist in the band. But they've always been one of my favourite bands, and then he joined them, and then they released this song. So that's where it's my uncle literally playing the guitar riff, and then my niece is called Dakota as well. They live over in America, so it's one of those things that whenever we're at a family event and this song comes on, it's just it's just good vibes. I don't know if you can tell. So far, the 2 tracks are all about just basically just trying to have a bit of fun and positivity, really.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
It's exactly what we need at the moment. So we're loving it on the show. This was number 1 in 2005, and we will see you very shortly. Then we've got some questions from some of our lovely viewers, Ben.
Yeah.
Julie would like to know, how do you come up with your tricks?
Well, Julie, it all depends on what I'm doing. So if it's pranks, if I'm coming up with pranky tricks, I first start with what would be the worst scenario to be in as a person. So,
right.
Usually it's things like, it would be really bad if somebody dropped your mobile phone down a drain, or if you were locked in a cage with a gorilla. That would also be bad. So I write down all these really bad scenarios, and then I try and work out how we can make it happen, how we can prank people, make it funny, and then turn it into a bit of magic. So that's that one. For everything else, I do this. I just kind of go, wouldn't it be cool too? And I just grab props and things, and then I try and work out through lots. I'll be honest, I don't have special powers, so it's just lots of practice, really. Is the answer.
Yeah, love that. I'm still working all these tricks out. And Sam would like to know, have any of your tricks ever gone wrong?
Oh, yeah. All the time. So I suppose the biggest fail, I was 18 years old. I was in a pub. I'd had a couple drinks. Don't normally do magic after a few drinks.
Yeah,
but someone
not
came
good.
over to me and said, he goes, I'm a friend of a friend. Can you show me a trick? I said, not a problem. I got him to lend me his ring. He lent me a ring. I made it vanish. And then it was on his shoulder. And I said, look on your shoulder. And as he went to get it, he knocked it off his shoulder. It shot across the floor of this bar and it was gone. And I'm going, no, he doesn't see this. I'm the only one that's seen this hit go across the floor. And I'm on my hands and knees. I'm looking for this ring. It's gone. He says, I love it when magicians pretend like they get it wrong. I'm like, no, mate, you're not getting it, mate. It's gone, right? Anyway.
Oh, please say there's a good ending to this.
Well. 10 minutes later, I go, right, I'll buy you a pint, right? So I buy him this pint, and then I say to him, look, it's gone. Did that ring mean anything to you? The kid's 18, 19 years old. I'm thinking it's like costume jewelry, right? And he goes, yeah. It was my dead granddad's ring.
Oh, no.
I inherited it when he died. And I just went, okay, enjoy your pint. And I left. And I left the night out and I just went home. I just couldn't carry on. That was it. There's no twist. There's no, and his ring was in the pint. There's none of that. It just failed.
No, Ben.
So there we go.
Oh,
that's it.
Oh, goodness.
So it doesn't always go right.
It doesn't always. Well, moving on. My question is, can I have a trick, please? I've been dying to ask you this.
Okay, all right. Okay, we'll do this trick.
Okay.
We just have to verify, and this is where you have to be on it. Have we set this up?
We haven't. No, I'm literally just asking you.
Okay, because I'm going to do this thing now, and they're just going to think I've just told you to do what we're about to do, in which case it's a complete waste of time. Okay. So we haven't done that, correct? All right, perfect. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to think, and everybody at home as well, I want you all to think of a playing card, okay? Think of a playing card. Get that card in your head now. Blokes, you're obvious, you're simple creatures like myself. You think of the ace of spades a lot of the time because it's the most manly. Now, ladies are a bit more complex than us. This is true. However, statistically, you will gravitate towards the Queen of Hearts. Now,
that's Hayley, what I did.
There we go. That's what I'm saying. It's obvious. Right?
Oh,
change your mind.
I thought that was the trick.
It's not the trick. I ain't started yet. Change your mind. Change your mind. All right? Get another card in your head. Have you got one?
Okay.
Now it's not too obvious. What you've probably done is gone down to a number. Have you got this card in your head?
Yeah.
All right. For the first time, what is the card in your head? Say it.
7 of Hearts.
The 7 of Hearts. And I genuinely didn't tell you this off screen or anything like that.
No.
All right. The thing is, the reason I'm holding this deck of cards is that before we played this game, before we met, inside here, I turned over one card. I'll do this as slow as humanly possible. Do you see how there is literally just one card in the entire deck?
How? No. Ben, how is this possible?
Boom.
I don't...
So it was a misspent youth, Hayley. That's how.
This is going to be on my mind all evening now. Anyway, I can just verify that I did not know that. And Ben, you're an utter genius. And
well, I've been doing Zoom shows for a year. That's what's been happening.
Booking for a Zoom show. Yeah, I like it. Brilliant. Well, your next song choice. I bet that you look good on the dance floor. Arctic Monkeys. Oh yeah. Why this one?
What a tune! Come on. Now, again, I'd appreciate maybe for your older listeners, the song selections it's a little bit heavy, right? It's a bit fast paced. However, this for me absolutely sums up when I was at university. So I was between 18 to 20, 21 years old, and it just good vibes. I can put this on at any time. It wakes me up in the morning. We used to dance around to this all night, kind of in clubs and stuff like that. And it's just, I remember seeing them at Reading Festival back in about 2003. It just literally sums up that time in my life where we went out a lot, had a lot of fun, and danced around a lot. So
So Ben is bringing back his youth. I like it. Well, here it is. Enjoy. We want everyone dancing at home. Here we go. Now, Ben, I want to talk more about dancing on ice because I'm a big fan of the show. You were the first magician to go on there, weren't you?
The first magician on ice, yeah. Now, I was. And I said, all right, if we're going to do this, I've got to come out week one and do a magic trick. So that was the idea. So we ended up doing the first illusion they had on the show on ice. So I made my partner in the first dance appear out of a box on ice, whilst holding a flaming torch. So that was a bit of fun. But yeah, it was really...
But you did really well, though, because you started off a little bit ropey, if you don't mind me saying. But
How dare you? How bloody dare you?
You got really good, and the judges were giving you fantastic comments, weren't they?
Do you know what? It was one of them where... I did work. I worked quite hard, and on week one, I almost fell over. I did a stumble, which was pretty bad.
That was my favourite bit.
Thanks. It's still my favourite bit, to be honest. I think, have a look at the stumble. That was quite funny. But I just really enjoyed it. I worked really hard, and each week, I just kind of got better. And there was a tipping point. There was a few weeks where I was getting like some negative-ish comments from the judges, and then it tipped, and I thought, oh, this was all right. Got to the semi-finals, so I was more than happy with that.
Yeah, well, my mum really liked you on the show, and she said that she liked you the week of Titanic.
That was a good one. Hold on, that was quite late on. What's your mum's name?
Angie.
Angie, that was week 8. So it took me 8 weeks to crack that nut, didn't it? But we got there in the end, Angie.
I'm sorry about that. I've got to say, when you did the headbanger, that was amazing, because that's just like ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, and so obviously if people don't watch the show, it's the idea where you grab them by the ankles, you spin round, and then the idea is you try and bounce them and get their head by the ice without hitting it. And the way you practice it, you start with sandbags, and then you get them to put a helmet on, and then there's that first attempt where they take the helmet off and go, all right, grab me by the ankles and swing me round, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how do you control your nerves? Because even when I hear the music on a Sunday night, I'm getting nervous for you. But how do you just go, oh my God, I've got to go out to that music and not fall over?
So here's the thing, right? So I obviously doing what I do as a job, I'm on stages quite a lot. And I kind of because I'm kind of used to failing or doing my job, I don't normally get nervous that often. Because the worst thing is a trick can go wrong. But I tell you what, doing Dancing on Ice, you'd stand in the tunnel ready to be called out. And it's pitch black in the tunnel, and you've got these ice skates on, and it's cold anyway, and your knees are clattering together, and then you hear the name dancing next or skating next is Ben and Carlotta, and literally you're like, oh my gosh, let's just make the next 90 seconds go as quick as possible, and then once it's done, you're super happy. But it was terrifying. There's no word.
Wow, you did ever so well. So good on you. We're going to go into your next song choice, Gregory Porter, Love. Why this one, Ben?
Okay. So again, no huge story behind this. Obviously during lockdown, we've been listening to a lot of music. I think I was hearing something the other day, saying how everybody's just been listening to music the last 12 months to escape because there's nothing else to do, right? And Gregory Porter's just been one of these artists we've put on almost every day over the last year, because for me, his voice is so smooth and it's so underrated. And when he covers a lot of these classic songs, I could literally listen to him all day. So he's one of them for me. I just think I can't fathom why more people don't talk about him more often. But I absolutely love Gregory Porter. And this song is just, again, I can put this on in the morning when I'm making my cup of coffee and it puts me in a good mood.
Yeah, we're loving all your good vibe songs on the show, Ben. You can come back anytime. We're
Cheers.
loving this.
Well, you don't want doom and gloom, do you? Come on. You want to be
No, we don't. We want cheering up. So thank you for that and enjoy this song.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Now, I want to talk about your brilliant podcast, Ben Behaving Dadly, which is where you sit down with a celebrity each week and you give their best parenting tips and advice. They give their best parenting tips and advice, which is genius because you're so real. People can really relate to it. And you're just saying it how it is, aren't you?
Well, the idea is, right, we've all done, this last year, we've all done way more parenting than we ever signed up for. Nobody signed up for 24/7 parenting for a year in lockdown. So and it's one of them where I speak to a lot of kind of celebrities out and about, and you see them on telly either promoting something or doing something, but actually behind it all, they're just like everyone else. They're just trying to figure out how to do this parenting stuff. So everybody's got some tips. Everybody's got some advice. So this is the podcast where you can relate to it. We share embarrassing stories, and they drop the occasional tip and trick that there's. Okay, so here's one tip from the podcast. It's please cheese Louise. Okay. So the tip is this. It came from Blake Harrison, who was Neil from The Inbetweeners. And he says, when you brush your kids' teeth, they never open their mouth long enough for you to brush the teeth. Because you say cheese, but it's not long enough. So if you tell your kid to say, cheese please Louise, their mouth's open long enough so you can brush their teeth. How simple.
I actually love this tip for myself. This is fantastic.
I'm a bit surprised if you need this tip, Hayley, but if you do, take it. It's yours. There you go.
I will. Thank you very much, Ben. And what guests have you got lined up? Who can we expect to be on there?
So who have we got? So far, and you can go back to it's wherever you get your podcast from, Ben Behaving Dadly. You've got Matt Willis from Busted, Ore Duba. You've got, like I say, Blake Harrison from The Inbetweeners, Michelle Heaton. We've had Chris Stark from Radio 1. And we got loads more guests to come. So
right, okay. Well, we're going to put details on the screen below of how you can tune into this. It's well worth listening to. I don't have kids, but I do have a cockapoo, and that's like having a toddler. She's very hard to handle, but so beautiful. So that's my being a dog mum. I might have to do a podcast about that.
You can you can do. But the thing is,
genius idea.
I bet you get a lot more sleep than us. That's the only difference.
Well, yeah, this is true. I need my sleep. But the next song, I love this song, one of my favourites of all time. Your song, Elton John. Why this one?
This is one, quite simply, I don't have a story behind it or anything like that. It's quite simply just, I think, one of the best songs ever written. And whenever I listen to it, it just baffles me how young they were when they wrote this. I think they were, Bernie Taupin was about, is he 19 or something when he wrote this? Really? Yeah, and I just remember thinking what I was doing when I was 19, and this guy's created one of the best songs of all time. So I just think it is one of the greatest songs. And
it is. It's a timeless classic.
Doesn't matter how many times you hear it, it's still great.
It is still great. Well, we're going to play it out right now for you.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside.
Now, your last song choice, Ben. We've got to do it. A bit of Elvis, Suspicious Minds. Why this one?
Well, we've gone for Elvis because my son's called Elvis. So my son's 3 and I've got a daughter called Delilah. And when Elvis was born, we told people, we didn't tell our parents we were going to call him Elvis before he was born. Because if you here's a tip, if you tell your parents the name before it's born, then they will judge. But afterwards, they have to accept it. And literally,
that's a good tip.
Yeah, I told my mum and dad, I said, right, so the baby's born, everything's great, and we've called him Elvis. And my mum literally messaged back and was like, no, haha, good one. What's he really called? And this went on for about 3 days. And I went, look, it's Elvis, and that is it. And we called him Elvis, not necessarily because we are the biggest Elvis fans. We love Elvis's music, but we just really like the sound of the name. And then since calling him Elvis, because it reminds us of our son and our kids and Delilah, our other daughter, every time we hear Elvis, we always look at each other and go, oh, it's Elvis. And it sounds really silly, but every time I hear an Elvis song, it reminds me of my kids.
Yeah.
And exactly. I think Suspicious Minds, out of all the Elvis songs, this is a cool song, isn't it? It's a cool song.
It is, isn't it? You can't go wrong with this song.
You can't help but feel a bit cooler when you listen to Suspicious Minds.
We're definitely going to feel cooler after this. So we're going to play that out on the show. But Ben, can I just say a huge thank you. I've been dying to talk to you about the Blue Trick, about Dancing on Ice, and I have actually been tricked by you. So I feel very privileged. Thank you.
That's all right. Thank you for having me.
And don't forget, everyone at home, your podcast, Ben Behaving Dadly, is the one that you need to listen to. Make sure you subscribe, and we will put that link on screen below of how you can listen to it. So thank you so much. It's the one and only Ben Hanlin, everyone.
Cheers, Hayley. Thank you.
Oh, big thank you, Ben Hanlin. What a guest. Just fantastic. And thank you to you at home for supporting the show. It really is very much appreciated. Thank you. Now, I will see you same time, same place next week. Stay safe. I'm Hayley Palmer, and I will see you then.